Hi folks, Jesse back again with you. You ever seen one of these before? This is a Z runner. It kind of simulates running without the jarring, you know? So it's kind of fun to use. If you stick around though, if you want to see me tell you about one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in real estate that cost me money, quit laughing. That cost me money. Stick around because we're coming back in 30 seconds. Hi folks, and welcome back. So the name of this video, I humbly say, and I have humbly titled, is my big real estate mistake in Arizona. So what does this have to do with? Well, what happened was some years back when I was first in the industry, you run across people that you meet and you trust, and you've done some real estate deals with. And so there's this one guy that I kind of got to know, and he sold me a few lots in Arizona. So he approached me one day with these lots. There were some new lots he had. He had purchased 5 of them, and so he just wanted to sell them for cash. And they were a good price. These lots were located in northern Arizona, and so they were all 1-acre lots. They were nice lots. They looked nice. I saw pictures of them and that type of thing. So like I said before, I had done a few deals with this guy, and he seemed like a pretty straight up guy to me. And he actually was a realtor too. So anyway, I ran across this guy, and so I bought these lots, and I got a good price on them. And I thought, yeah, I can probably turn around and sell them, or hold on to a few of them and sell a few or whatever. But I got a really good price on them, and so I was happy. I was happy with them. So in our company we were like going, wow, we got a really good price on this land. So anyway, so I paid him. He got the deeds recorded in our company name, and we went on from there. And so I kind of, we started, selling a few of them, and started doing stuff, and so I didn't really think any more about it after that, And so a few weeks go by, and then a month goes by, and the next thing I know, I get a letter in the mail. So I get a letter in the mail, and I see that it's from the building department code enforcement of this northern Arizona county. And I'm like going, why would I be getting this? So I open it up, and the next thing I know, I have a letter in front of me, and it's from code enforcement. And the code enforcement with the building department, if you don't know what that is, basically they handle all problems with, if you got trash on your property, or a cleanup, or people doing bad things on property, and that type of thing. So they handle all that type of stuff and violations, basically code violations of the county. So anyway, I look at this letter, and I have a couple violations. And basically it was my job, according to this letter, we're just going to call this lot 20. So according to this letter, on lot 20, since I was the owner, I was responsible now to clean up the entire parcel. And I'm like thinking, how could I have a problem there when these are just bare land parcels? And so I'm going along here. So the next thing I do, I get on the horn, I call the county, I talk to this guy at code enforcement, and I ask him, and I go, so I don't get it. What's the problem here? How come I have these violations? Well, sir, you own the property. You're the owner of the property, and what is on the property, basically, you're going to have to clean up. And I said, well, what's on the property? And he said, oh, just a kind of a mess, and then you have a kind of a broken down manufactured home that's been shredded on the property. And so it's all over the property, and you're the owner of record, so, I'm sorry, but code enforcement, they have to, they hand out the laws, and they make people follow the laws, and you are in violation, and you have this violation and this violation. You have 30 days to get this cleaned up. If it doesn't get cleaned up, you're going to be fined $400 a day until it is cleaned up. And I'm like going, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. And it doesn't matter what even if you talk to the county, they're like going, it's not our problem. Oh, it's not our problem. Oh, sorry you bought it. It's not our problem. You're the owner. It's your problem. So I'm like sitting there, great. So, so lot 20 turns out to be a problem. And so the first thing I do is I basically call my realtor friend and I ask him, I go, hey, these lots, the other 4 are okay, but this lot 20, it's got an old manufactured home on it, shredded trash everywhere. It's all over the place. Well, he basically was telling me, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's you bought the land. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm going, hey, you know what? I trusted you, and it didn't matter. He was like going, well, I don't know what to tell you, you bought the land, we signed the deeds over in your name, so, you're the owner of the property, so, ultimately you are responsible. And so I'm sitting there going, wow, And so, I thought about it. I got off the phone with him. I thought about it a little bit, because I'm responsible for this parcel. And so you can see, I'm showing you some of the pictures on here of that parcel. So check it out. Look at some of these as we go along and I tell this little story. So anyway, so I get back on the phone with him and I call him back. And I say, I don't think that's right that you sold me this property. Well, he tells me, I didn't know there was trash on it. I had no idea. I said, you sent me pictures of the property. He said, well, I sent somebody out there. They must have missed it or something. He said, but ultimately, it's not my responsibility. I said, you know what? It is your responsibility. I said, number one, you are a realtor in the state of Arizona. Number two, realtors have a code of ethics that they have to follow. And number three, I can call the state real estate commission and report this whole incident to them if you want me to. And that's basically what I said to him. Well, once I said that to him, he turned back into my old pal again, which was kind of good in this situation. I was kind of glad about that. So, so the next thing that happens, there's trash all over it. There's a broken old manufactured home, just shredded all over this property. He says he doesn't know anything about it, and I don't know if he did or not, but regardless, we're both in this mess. So the problem is now, when you're in land investing like this or in real estate investing, the problem now is you have to clean it up, and that's a problem. So how do you clean it up? I'm based in Oregon, so, and he's down there, and so how in the heck, if something like this happened to you, how would you clean it up? Well, basically, I relied on him to a point. He knew somebody that would be willing, to clean it up, but it wasn't going to be cheap. So as we went along here, I bought that lot probably for $500. I think it was $500. It was 1 acre lot, $500. Okay, so I end up talking with him, and I'm saying, hey, you got to find somebody to clean this up, but it's got to be a decent price, because I don't want to pay too much to clean it up. Well, the next thing I know, he's trying to find somebody to clean it up. He finally finds this lady to clean it up, okay? And she had a big trailer and everything, and that's something I guess that these folks spent a lot of time doing down there, was cleaning up these lots. And the reason I'm taking a time out here, the reason I'm telling you this whole thing is so if you turn into a land investor, or you're thinking about buying land, you don't make mistakes like I have made here. So anyway, back to the story. So he finally finds this lady. She agrees to start cleaning up the property, and so she starts cleaning it up. Well, then I'm contacted by the county again, because this has been about 30 days or so. The county. So the guy on the phone from the county, he's going, you need to get this cleaned up. You need to get this cleaned up right now. I go, hey, we're working on it. It took some time to find somebody. Doesn't matter. It's code enforcement. I'm from code enforcement. You need to clean this property up now. I said, buddy, I didn't even know that there was trash on there. I live in Oregon. I didn't even know that there was trash on the property when I bought it. Well, that's your problem. You need to get it cleaned up right now. So we end up getting this lady. She's slow at it, man. She's taking her time doing it. First amount, so my realtor friend says, and the way I look at this is, he sold this to me. So I'm thinking, well, he'll offer to, because he sold it to me, he'll offer to pay for some of this. Or no, he didn't want to pay for any of it. He wanted me to pay for everything. And I basically said, hey man, you're going to kick in some cash too. So I ended up putting in $2,000 to begin with, of my own, our company money. And so it was taking her a long time to get this cleaned up. And then finally, he got on the horn. He started getting on her about getting this done because he knew we have a deadline with the county. Finally, she did clean it up. She did a good job. It took her a long time. And then, okay, so I spent $2,000. Then I had to give her another $2,000 because they had to do dump run. So, and then he kicked in $4,000. So by the time it was all over, we had spent $8,000 on a $500 lot that I bought. So, in this video, I basically, have said, the realtor that I was dealing with, he should have, checked it out or whatever. But ultimately, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm being humble here. Whose fault was it? It was my fault. It was my fault. It was my fault because I didn't do my due diligence. What it was I had done business with this guy a few times. I had trusted him. I was newer in the field. I had trusted him, and I had done a few deals with him. And I did check a few things. I made sure there was no back taxes or anything like that. But I didn't really do a really good aerial look at the property before I bought it. And I also didn't send somebody out there to check out the land before I bought it. And those are things you learn, and you make mistakes in real estate. And if you're going to go into land investing, expect to. You're going to make mistakes. Now, I mean, I've made plenty of them. But if you do make a mistake, learn from it. And because that's the type of guy I am. If I make a mistake, I learn from it, and I don't make that same mistake again. So, if you're gonna buy land, especially land that you don't live near or it's out of state, if you can't go look at the property, have somebody else that's local down there. Put an ad on Craigslist. I'm gonna pay somebody $100, go out and take some pictures of this property or whatever, or something like that, or just maybe somebody in Arizona, a family member or something, that could go down there and take some pictures. But whatever state you're dealing with, you want to do your due diligence, and then get on Google Earth or go look on Google Maps. Go to the county GIS map that they have and look on there. I usually look at 3-4 maps before I ever think about buying, because you want to make sure that you're looking at an accurate picture, because on Google Maps you could look at a picture, it's on there, it's from 2012 or something, and you're thinking, oh well, that's what the lot looks like now, when in reality it's a disaster. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed listening to me tell you my story about my big mistake in Arizona. And because sometimes you can really make some doozies, I'm telling you. But learn from them. And if you enjoy this video, down here, please subscribe to our channel. Like this video. Hey, if you've made some real estate mistakes or you have some comments you want to send our way, put them in the comment section down below here on YouTube, and we'll reply to them for sure. And this is Jesse signing off from the Owner Terms Land Network.